So, this is a subject that I have talked about recently on Facebook. This is something that I know a lot of people have had problems with in their lives, whether it's recently or in the past. But it is losing friends when you get a chronic illness. Doesn't have to be EDS or POTS, but I find the rarer the illness and the more unheard of it is, and things like that. It's just crazy. When I have so many examples, I've lost friends because either they've got fed up that I've cancelled on them, or they've not taken an interest at all in what's wrong with me. And I'm the kind of person that I like to think that, well, I know from past things that if someone's got ill, I will do everything I can to support them, to go and visit them, be there for them, message them, call them, send them presents, anything I can to cheer them up. And I feel that I don't get that back at all from my friends. I have got a very few now close friends, most of which who I've met only since being diagnosed, who either have the same diagnosis or they've known me for long enough that they just know, they understand. I've got a best friend who lives close to me, and we don't go into depth too much about my illness, but she knows if I'm not well, so it kind of works. But it's really hard because recently I lost out of my own decision, a best friend who I've known since I was 13, so I've known for over 20 years. She's been through a tough time. When I first met her, she was being bullied at school, so I befriended her, and I was the kind of person that would try and gravitate towards the kind of the weird kids, the odd kids, anyone who wanted help. I felt I should help them. She basically, when I went to university, so we're talking 10 years after we met, she ended up getting very ill with bulimia and with mental health issues, and was hospitalised for quite a few years. She tried to take her own life many times, and it was a really horrible thing to see her go through, and it brought me and another of my school friends closer together. And it was a horrible time because she didn't want to get better, but the thing is, because people know what bulimia is pretty much, or have a rough idea at least, you never had to question what it was. You knew, and luckily, thank God, she got through it, and she's now doing fairly well for herself. But she has had a crazy life, and I've helped her through so many different situations. Recently, whenever I've seen her, if I've mentioned, because part of your life when you're chronically ill is you're having, checkups or tests or something, is going crazy. And especially at the moment, I'm going through such a lot with problems with my allergies and my sinuses, and we were trying to have a family, but that is not going the way we want it to. So I'm having so many tests and hospital things, and I was the one that would always message her, and she very out of the blue messaged me in Easter to say hello, and I was really shocked. But we would chat, and we would just chat, and it would always end up about how she was tired and how she was busy and her boyfriend and all the problems she had with him, but she'd never ask what I'd been up to. And I actively post. I have 2 separate Facebook accounts for the very reason that early on in my diagnosis, people would stop responding to things, they would unfriend me. So I now have one Facebook profile for my very close friends and family and school friends, and one for my POTS and EDS. So it's people that I feel I can freely post on there what's going on in my life, if I'm not feeling well. I use it for my volunteer work and for anything else. And I feel keeping them separate, although I shouldn't have to, it's actually been a really good thing. But she actually said to me, "Where's the fun, Liz, gone?" And I was like, I post so much on my personal profile. For example, I've done so much recently. I've been to see Joe Lycett, the comedian. I've been out for dinner. I've been to London with my mum. We're going on holiday in a week or so. I've been doing loads of stuff that's non-medical and all this, and she says that she doesn't have time to scroll through Facebook, so she sent me some rather nasty messages, and I cropped out her name because I thought that was a bit too far, and I posted them on Facebook, and within about 5 minutes she messaged me. So she clearly is on Facebook, she just chooses not to read any of my stuff. And basically she said, why do you need all these tests, why do you need this, why do you need that, what's the point in hospital appointments, what's the point in tests? And I just said, well, if you bothered to understand what EDS is, then you know why, because it causes so many other issues, not just joint related. And she is actually training to be a physio, which is the most ironic thing, because she's going to come across a lot of people like this in the future. And unfortunately in the past, me and I know many others have come across physios who can really damage you from giving the wrong treatment or having a bad attitude about EDS. And I feel that she'll be one of those people. She persisted on messaging me over and over, asked me to remove the messages, so she was clearly embarrassed, but I hadn't named and shamed her at all. And eventually I had to block her on WhatsApp because it was just she was messaging me so much. And so I told her a lot of things that I felt, and I said, about how I was there for her when she was ill, so I would expect a friend to be there for me. I remember once I drove all the way down to where she lived, which is quite a lot, about 3-4 hour drive for me, just for the weekend to see her, and she spent the whole weekend out. I was stuck in her flat the whole weekend. Bearing in mind she knew I struggled with stairs, I took my mobility scooter, and she told me she didn't have many stairs, but she was on the 4th floor, so I really struggled to get up to where she lived. And she spent one night at swimming club and the rest of the time looking after her horses, and it was crazy because she knows I've got a phobia of horses and I'm allergic to horses, and so I couldn't go there. And I was just fuming. And she actually was a bridesmaid for my wedding because I've known for so long. And in amongst the arguments we had the other day, she said that she doesn't have much money, so she can't come and see me. And I said, it's not the kind of not asking her to visit me, I'm just asking her to try and understand more about what EDS and Potts is, to maybe text me once in a while, ask what I'm up to, and chat on the phone. That's it. I have loads of friends who I haven't seen for years, who I'm still really good friends with, because we just catch up, either through messaging or through social media or other ways. And it was crazy. So she actually said that she couldn't afford the petrol to come up to the wedding, and that it was a big inconvenience for her, which I thought was so rude, because I pay for everything. For my bridesmaid, I paid for their dresses. She stayed with me the night before, so she didn't have to pay any accommodation. I spent like 70 quid on the meals. I spent so much money on them because they mean a lot to me. And she just really, and I told other people, and they were like, she is not a friend. And because of all these things she said to me, it's easy for me to cut her out of my life. Other friends, it's been hard because they've not really done much. They've just drifted apart, and I felt like, it's been tough. So basically we're not friends anymore. And maybe in the future she'll come back and she'll apologise, and maybe she will have learnt, but we'll just have to see. I don't know. But I think the thing with friends is that I don't expect them to have a full medical knowledge of my illnesses. I just want a bit of support, and to know they'll be there for me, and to take some kind of interest. I have an amazing friend from school who I wasn't even that close with at school, and she did her whole PhD thesis on EDS and how it affects a certain part. I can't say because I don't want to really give away who she is, but she is training to do a particular profession that is very high up, and it was out of nowhere, and she wanted to do it about EDS because she'd seen my posts and my struggles, and I thought that was incredible, and I want more people like her in my life. So people who are on the edge of deciding whether to cut people out, I would just suggest cut them out, because the stress it causes you. I had so many sleepless nights after the other night. I felt sick, I couldn't concentrate, because I just thought, you know, why would someone want to do that to you? So I think it's just people's lack of understanding. I know people who are chronically ill, who've got diagnosed with things that are very well known, and people give them full support because they know what it means. But when you've got EDS and POTS, there's not enough awareness for the general public to know. Even though I'm posting, especially as May was EDS Awareness Month, I was posting every day about it. So I don't know how much people have taken in, but so I highly suggest that I will always be your friend. If you want to be my friend, you're very welcome to. I'm on Facebook, Liz Potts Owen. My profile picture, I think, is me in a yellow t-shirt with my purple glasses on. But yeah, you don't have to worry. Like, you will find better friends out there, and you just need to ditch the neckheads, basically. So that's my experience recently in general, and I hope that's helped some of you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned and click the picture of me on the screen right now, and you can subscribe to my channel. Please like the video and click the bell notification if you want to know when my next videos are put onto YouTube. There should be a box on the screen where you can see other videos I've done. Happy watching!